Well, Tim Walz is a name that you will need to get well acquainted with. He is the man who will campaign with Kamala Harris as she makes her bid for president. He was formally introduced to American voters and the world at a major rally in Pennsylvania this morning. But who exactly is Tim Walz and how successful will his vice presidential campaign be? Joining me live now is lawyer and lobbyist Nathan Daschle, who used to be the executive director of the Democrat Governors Association. Nathan, great to see you. So is he a good pick and who is he?
So Governor Walz is a two-term governor from Minnesota. But I think he brings three things to the ticket. First, he helps with the swing states in the Midwest like Wisconsin and Michigan because he has a great bio. He is a veteran. He is a former high school teacher and high school coach. And he's a former congressman from a Republican area. And he's a Midwesterner with a very charming Midwestern accent. So I think that Harris campaign thought he would play well with Michigan and Wisconsin. Second.
Okay. Yeah. As you were.
Well,
please continue.
His bio, he has credibility. And I think that makes him a good messenger. And he's the one, as you may know, Laura, who coined the term weird, which Democrats have been saying for the last week to describe the Trump Vance campaign. Third, I think he and Harris just had some genuine chemistry. They're humans after all, and she wanted a good partner with whom she thought she could work.
Yeah, got it. Okay. So, but what about, because this, from where I sit, looks like a pretty left ticket. Where does that leave the independent voters, the swing voters, who might be, breaking a bit right?
That is the danger. You nailed it on the head. That is the danger, is the one attack on Kamala Harris that could stick is that she's too far left. She's from California and she ran for president on the Democratic primary. And as a result, had to take some pretty far left positions. And her VP picks, of the three finalists, Walz is the most left. So this definitely gives Republicans some ammunition to box them in as too far left for a country that in general is still pretty center right.
Okay, looking at the, 6 or 7 swing states that are at play here, because, California doesn't matter, really, when it comes down to it. I see a lot of reporting about the popular vote. That doesn't matter either. We know that. It comes down to these swing states. So from this first rally as well, from this pick, what is obvious is that they're going after the female vote, the perhaps female college educated, but also with this VP pick going after rural voters because Tim Walz has had a fair bit of success there. But it is quite a gamble, isn't it?
It is a gamble. It's in some ways the most political pick would have been Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, but she didn't pick him. And to me, that signals that she thinks, whether she's right or wrong, she thinks that she doesn't need Shapiro to win Pennsylvania because of the battleground states, Pennsylvania is pretty much a must win. She really has to win Pennsylvania to get to the White House. Walz could probably help with Michigan and Wisconsin, but even then, I think his effect will be minimal. The truth is, if we were to take the ratio of the amount of attention spent on VP picks versus the relevance to the actual campaign, it would be almost undefinably high because they really don't matter. They more can be a drag on the campaign than can be a reward.
So I still think for Trump, the biggest challenge for him is Pennsylvania and perhaps Arizona as well. With this VP pick and with Kamala now, 2 weeks in with this momentum, how do you think those two states are looking in particular, if I could narrow that down?
So the recent polls have come out that Harris has closed the gap in all the battleground states. So 2 weeks ago, Biden was losing all 6 battleground states to Trump, and in some states by a 5 or 6 point margin. Right now, in most recent polling, and polling right now is dubious because Harris is so new to the campaign. But she right now is winning in three of the six battleground states, tied in one, and then Trump is winning in two. So it's changed the dynamics of the race entirely. The question will be whether she can sustain this throughout the next months ahead until November 5th.
Yeah, it's the momentum. It's the sustaining the momentum, because we know from recent history that a day is a long time in politics in the US, let alone a couple of months. I also think that I think Trump has been remarkably flat-footed. The campaign on that side has been remarkably flat-footed to this change to Kamala that we could all see was very much on the cards. But that's not to say that he won't pick that up. If he starts to turn this around and, again, look at the economy, look at cost of living, I think he tends to get through to people more on those issues. And given what happened on Wall Street in the last couple of days, surely that's where they try to point the campaign.
I agree completely. I think it is almost like the Trump campaign was wholly unprepared for this change, which is bizarre because so many of the people saw it coming. But if he sticks to a message about the Biden administration's record, then I think he has a very clear path to victory. The race right now is a race to define the race. So Harris will want to make this a referendum on Trump, and Trump will want to make this a referendum on the Biden-Harris administration.
Yeah.
And whoever wins that narrative will win the race.